All right, it looks like we're live with Nail Talk today. So let me see if I can see it. Today, I actually brought my little monitor tablet to see if I can read any comments and see up close without my glasses. I have my contacts in. So, so I was going to show from last week. I showed you some of my new polishes. I really love them because, you know, I'm a purple gal, and I kind of get tired of the same color of purple. So this is, what is it called? I don't think I have it out here. Amazonian, something like that, in the cat eye magnetic polishes. So I showed that last week, and I have posted it now on my website and my blog. So, or, you know, they're on Facebook too. I think they're saved. Let me just go back to my Zoom screen so I can see exactly my cameras. I've been called the high-tech woman of God, and by my creative team from India, Papaya Media. So I thank them for all the help that they did in setting up our website and all my live streaming. And Marvin, who's in the Philippines, who set up our online school. So sometimes I don't give them credit, but they taught me so much, all that I know. And so that's why I have the patience to help women to learn how to use technology. And then with Instagram and social media, it's such a great thing that we can use. It's usually free, unless you do the advertisements and promotions, but it's free to use technology. So it's a great tool that we have to reach people worldwide. So that's why I went into having, that's why I'm actually teaching, first of all, women, is to reach out to them and help them expand their horizons and encourage them and develop their talents that maybe they wouldn't have never have realized that they had, or give them the opportunity and the resources. And then that's why I'm teaching as part of our charity, because it is the women's programs along with the beauty and the makeup artistry and our line of products too. So, and then that's why I also expanded to have the online school program since 2012 or 10. I think that the platform was built for me, and I learned how to use it. And that was so that we could reach out to women who were in remote areas, and or just didn't drive even. I think one of the first classes that took it, the online nail tech, was Connie. Connie, I know you're out in Amherstburg, and so she wasn't able to come into the city. So it was a great way for her to learn, and so many other women now over the years, the last, well, decade. It's been a decade or 8 years since we graduated women online. Now with the COVID, it's kind of sad that we have to be able, you know, we have to use new methods, right? But it's a benefit for us because I've already had it. I've already had the online resources. So now we can connect with you, and you can overcome your barriers. You don't have to be afraid. We're here to teach you, and so many business platforms are here to teach you and to network you as a woman. You don't have to be afraid. So our mission focus is to remove those barriers in many ways, but with technology is one of them, so that you can still connect and not be alone. Thank God for social media, because it's really grown over the last decade as well. I think YouTube only started like uh, 10 years ago or something like that. So 10 or 12 years ago, maybe 15. But the last decade is when everybody really got big in using YouTube as a platform. So we're excited about that, and excited about expanding our school and updating it as well, and hiring our staff back, some of our graduates, because I miss them. I have nobody here to help me do the day-to-day, and we have been teaching lots of online women online. So actually that's increased probably more than double right now. So yes, so don't be discouraged. It's going to be good things are ahead for you always if you have faith and hope. So I'm going to show you a little bit about nail tips. I think first of all, because I wanted to show you how to do encapsulated nails, and I'm sure I didn't spell it right on the title there because I couldn't see. But encapsulated nails are probably easiest to do on clear nail tips. So I thought, well, I'll set up some nail tips on my trainer hand. But first, why not just show you how to use a trainer hand, how to apply nail tips to real people using the nail trainer hand, and the different types of nail tips that there are. So first of all, in talking about your trainer hand, in case you're a new student enrolled in nail course, or you've gotten a trainer hand, there's some that are better than others. So I try to buy the brand, and I'm not sure which brand it is now, but the original ones were from the UK, the Practice Nail Trainer. You can see here the label is on here. So this is an original one. They weren't cheap. They weren't, you know, those $11 or $20 ones, because those tend to be copies and the nails pop off. So it's important, first of all, that you buy a good one, an original one. I'll share later which ones you can get that are good. It's just kind of hard to keep track of them, so many copies come out. So first of all, when you're removing the nail tips that come on there, don't just pop them off. You have to hold on to the sides where these little white dots are usually, and just gently slide off the rubber fingertips to remove the nails that currently are on there. So let me show you, okay? If you just pop them off, they might crack and loosen the track that they stick in, the nails, then you can just easily remove them, all right? Then to put them on, again, you want to hold the sides of the finger, and you want to just slide on that rubber finger over top of that white track, and you can put it back far, you can pull it out, whatever. So put it on all the way. Then take your nail tip, and there's always this little plug. The cuticle line is a thicker little edge of a lip, so there's a cuticle. You know which one is the base of the nail. Now what you have to do is just press it down so it clicks twice. Once, not sure if you heard that, twice, there. Or 3 times even. Okay, this is the original one, so they'll click 3 times. So then you know that they are in there really good. If you want a longer nail or a shorter nail, you can always usually slide them back. See how this one will slide into her fingertip to the base, and that panicum down here, and then that will give you less length. So if you're doing nail tips, you don't want a long nail. You want to cut them down, and you want to shape them rounded so that there's no free edge that's going to pop out of the nail tip area. Only for sculpting with the forms. If we're going to sculpt, and maybe we'll sculpt one of these with a nail form instead of putting a nail tip on, then we leave this free edge square at the stress tab there, okay, to give it more reinforcement so it doesn't crack. But tips do not crack. You can have them long, and they're just easier to do an instant long nail on somebody with a tip extension. So that's how you put in and out the nails. So make sure that you follow those instructions. If your trainer hand is a bad one, the best thing to do then is to remove the whole rubber finger, take the nails out, and just put the nails while you're working into that track. Just slide it in or press it in. Let's see. I think mine is really tight, you see. So you just want to slide it into the bare nail track, and then you can work and file them without them popping off or falling off. I can't quite, there, I got it in. Okay, so you see how tight these tracks are. They don't fall out, they don't pop off even with the rubber fingers. Also, when you're filing and holding, don't pinch the sides of the rubber fingers, hold them more up here. The sides will make the tips pop out a little bit easier as well. All right, but there's your alternative remedy that I found works when you're filing nails too hard and they just pop out, okay, from the bad trainer hands. So we'll see how these stay in for me. So pop it in, hold it, and make sure it clicks, yeah, 2 or 3 times. All right, so that's in there now. I've already etched off the shine, but remember something, when you're doing a real client, you do have to remove that shiny surface of buildup of oils, and the cuticle skin does grow onto the nail plate. But let me just get my nail file here. You don't want to file from side to side, at least that's my personal technique. I file up and down vertically, so that it's going to take the shine off, but it doesn't thin the nail. When you file from side to side, too many times we over file on the client's nails, and then they keep on doing that and keep on doing it with every fill, file the natural nail until the natural nail is very thin and weak and it almost hurts. Especially if you're new in doing nails and you're taking on and off your own nails, watch that you don't over file or file sideways. For me, I teach all my students, don't file from side to side, because that's going to instantly take off so many layers that you can't see. So take your emery board and go up and down. Watch also that the top of the curve is inside of the cuticle line so that you're not like filing up and skinning her. And I angle it from side to side, like rotate it up and down or seesaw it so that it gets all of the shine off. All right, so that's my little technique for not filing away or thinning, damaging their natural nails. All right. Then you would put on your dehydrator and so that you take all the oils off. But with a trainer hand, don't use primers on them, on this plastic, because it tends to crack the plastic. All right, so all of a sudden you have a shattered nail. Now, when we're looking at nail tips, let's take a look at the different types of tips. So I've taken out a few. Let me just get rid of these shavings. First of all, our basic strongest nail tip type is the full moon well, the full well. So if you flip it over, you will see that it actually has that half circle and it's going to extend up on their nail plate. This is the strongest type of nail tip that you can apply. It will really adhere to their nails and be strong on them. Oh, so this nail tip is going to be the strongest nail tip because you can see how much of the nail tip extension is covering the natural nails. So these are the strongest, and so you can make them the longest. This is another style, it's the new stiletto, and it's a full tip well. If you're going to do stiletto, I would recommend that you get the stilettos that are full well, like this. There are mostly stilettos that are the quarter well, which has just a little bit of a groove on it, and that's really hard to get it strong. If you're going to use these quarter well tips, then you have to build up in the center at the stress line with thicker amount of product. So you see how it'll just fit on the free edge. These are nice and to use if they're white, French white, or colored, because it's going to be an instant smile line for you. All right, so the other thing is I like to use brush-on glue or resin. Brush-on glue is one of the easiest glues that doesn't harden. I do have the little tubes we sell in the store of the 5-second glue, the instant glue almost, but I like to use in the salon here because I'm not using my glue every day anymore. I like to brush it on. So with the full well, we are going to put enough on to fill that well, and then I'll tap out any excess. Okay, let's tap it out over here, just so that it's not going to flood. And then I stand up my tip so that I can see that the free edge is inside of that well. And then I roll it on until it presses out all of the air bubbles. So hopefully you could see that. I think my camera should be a little bit lower. So you see when I let go of that, it's going to make that air pocket come back. So you have to watch it. You roll on the nail tip and stop. Don't lift the free edge up too far, or else then you'll get an air pocket down here showing up. Now, if you have problems getting them to stick to the nail trainer hand, I'm just going to hold that, I would recommend that you use a glue dryer or an activator. With my fiberglass nail wrap kits comes a non-aerosol one, but this is a really super, this will last you for so long, super glue dryer, fast, and it's an aerosol version. So let's just move my glue out of the way and let's just give it a spray. You can also, if the nail client's hands are really cold, glue won't stick either. So you can spray their nail base, the plate of their nail first, and then quickly apply the nail tip. All right, yes, so there, see how that helped it to stick instantly? and there's no air pocket on there. All right, so let's do the next one. Let's do this one in a the quarter well, so it's going to be like this shape. So the next step is we're going to use the 1/4 inch well. Let me get my glue, brush on glue here. Now this is tricky. You're going to have to fill that quarter well, but I would recommend that you spray it with the activator spray right away. So let's spray the tip of the base of the nail, not the tip. And then the tip already has the glue, and then I quickly roll it on and hold it for a few seconds. And let's see, yeah. So see how that made it stick right away, because these tips are hard to get on because there's such a little 1/4 of an inch or less of the well there. All right, now this one we're going to put on the full well. This will be easy, so much easier. And even if you have problems with getting these shiny clear tips to stick, I would etch it first with your nail drill, because then when it's sticky, it's matte, it's buffed, it often helps them to adhere to the client's nail plate. All right, now let's see, we're still going to, I just don't want to get this spray on my nail, on the tip itself, the glue. Let's give it a quick spray on the base of the plate, and then we're going to stand it up or do that rock and roll, I call it. Okay. Actually, had to do it a little bit faster. So you can see where you get, I'm not sure if you can see on my camera, a little bit of those bare spots, because I used the nail activator, the glue dry spray. It made it dry right away. So I had to roll it on faster. I just wanted to show you that technique. So not too bad. Let's see if we can put a little bit in at the, there we go. We can flood that in at the corners, that stress area. All right, and then let's put there. Okay, wow, these are very long, dragon lady nails, long. This one I'm gonna leave for sculpturing. I'm not sure if I'll do it today. Okay, but let's do another clear one. Okay, so the technique is stand it up so you can see that the free edge is inside of the curved well, and then roll it on. So I rock it, put it on a rocking angle, and press and hold. There we go. All right, let's try this again. Shake out any excess, just tap it out once. I'm not sure, I will spray it just because I don't want it to not stick, but we got to do it fast then. Okay, there's a bubble. So because of the glue dry spray, we probably need a little bit more glue. So let's just kind of pull that off if I can. Yep. So let's pull that off, put more glue in there. And I'm not going to do any spray. That's mainly if it's warm in here, but if it's cold or if it's winter time, your glues tend to not stick as fast. Okay. So we have a little bit of an edge here, like lifted. So let's see if we can brush some in. There we go. And then let's spray it. Watch your glue dry sprays and activators that you don't get them on your plexiglass displays, because they're so nice and shiny. It does tend to dull them, I think. All right, so that's the really great supersized, super fast glue, Isabella Christina. And the other one would be the Sheba nail one. I just don't have one here, and they're strawberry scented and they're non-aerosol. They would work as well too. Okay, so we have all of our nail tips on. Now let's cut them down. I like to use these little like dog cutters, dog toenail cutters. Let's leave this one, well, maybe we should leave it long. It's got a really nice point on it, right? And let's do this one a little bit shorter, just for those who you might really be doing a real nail on. Most people are not going to function with them that long, but if your clientele loves them long, well then leave it long. Okay. And then what we're going to do is take, I'm going to take my drill electric file with the sanding band, And just going to cover up so that I don't get dust. And let's shape first the free edge. And then let's take all that shine off. Watch with these because the sanding bands get very hot from the friction. So when you're up on their nail plate, make sure you're not on their nail plate. See how I'm gonna buff right on the seam, but not touch her nail, so that you're not thinning or weakening her natural nail or creating a groove or a ring of fire, they call it. And then with nail tips, I always like to pinch back her skin, and I'm gonna stand up my file and just kind of file to narrow and taper and slenderize the nail. Because they tend to, I watch that they're not too fat for her nail. If they are, just shave them down a bit before you put on that nail tip. There we go. All right, take out those. So all the shine, take it off. If you don't want to use a buffer or electric file, you can use the white block buffers. They're really good for quickly taking off the shine. They're not strong enough for shaping or thinning out acrylic. I find I need a real file. Let's make this one slendered into that coffin shape. Actually, I think these are those coffin shaped nails. I have new tips and they are a coffin shape already. But this one was super, super long. All right. Let's just thin out. Now, if I'm going to use acrylic on this one, I don't even have to take the shine off of it totally. Let's just file them down on these clear ones at the seam, because you can dull it for the acrylic to stick by simply using the monomer. That's another little trick that I learned when I was doing applying tips that were already airbrushed with a pattern. You can buy some of those. They're kind of designer, like Gucci or Coco Chanel nail tips. And I said, how do you actually file down the nail? Because you would file off the pattern on them. So the company said, no, just wet it with monomer on your brush. Okay, let's do this one. Let's just leave it pretty square. All right. So let's try that little tip and see if that works for us today by just using the monomer to dull the shiny, clear tip surface. All right, let's get rid of all the dust. All right. Okay, so we're going to take my clear acrylic powder, and I love the Porcelina one, which never yellows, and it comes in every color now from Sheba Nails. So Sheba Professional Nails.com, ShebaNails.com is their site, and I sell that here. So if you're in Windsor area, I already import it and everything, so you can order direct, or you can come to our store here and just pick up the products. I have a starter kit. I have all the liquids and that. All right, so let's just do this. Let's dull it so it's going to stick with our acrylic. Let's just do it underneath as well, just to get rid of that dust. All right, so instead of taking the shine off, it's going to help the product to stick to it, because we want it to stay clear, right, for our encapsulated nails. So a little bit more of the monomer. And then let's take it underneath. I've got a cut line, so we might have to file that off afterwards. If they bend, they kind of go with the clear line there. All right. Just get rid of my dust. So we're going to pick up a fairly large ball that's medium viscosity, like medium liquidy, since we're not sculpting, and put it in the middle and then drag it down forward. So here we've got, let's use it for this smaller one because I didn't pick up too much liquid. So let's roll. My method is to roll and twist it off and then squeeze it with the root of my brush, which actually it ejects some more of the monomer so that then it melts down as we're working. And then we're going to bring it forward to cover all the way to the tip. It will self-level, so you don't need to touch it too much. With the odorless one especially, you can't touch it too much. But I'm using the Porcelina, which is a quick set, and it has every color as well. So we're going to put a thin layer on here, and then we're going to put some of the little bling that we want. Now, smaller ball for the cuticle line. Let's let it melt and flow in. Wipe our brush, and then just keep it on the nail plate, out of the nail groove. I think I just got a little fuzzy in here, didn't I? Okay. All right. Just put a little bit more on the tip. And then I'm going to take some of those new butterflies. Okay. And some other colored blings. Let's see here. And let's pick up some of these. And maybe some iridescent ones. And then some of the gold, just to show up the contrast. Okay, now I will use my orange wood stick to pick them up. Let's just shave it off to clean it up. And there we go. Some of my UV top coat on my orange wood stick because it's like a slow drying nail art sealer. It's really good. You can dry it instantly under your gel lamp, or you can just use it like this without any gel. Okay, without any gel lamp. All right. Let's just kind of press them in. Hold on. I'm gonna put on another wet coat. Some of these moonstone petals are really cute. And then some of the studs, the gold studs. Okay. All right. And then let's pick up a little bit of this purple glitter I have. And I'm going to use the UV top coat to dip in it and just to drag it all around here and there. Maybe I'll cover up that little crack in the nail, the little bend, which made it look white. All right, and then before I put it back in my brush, in my bottle, I'm going to wipe it off, but I usually have two bottles. One is my glitter-free zone bottle, and then one I put a little bit of glitter on the top of it so that it's going to be my glitter bottle. So let's just do that now since I've done that. Started a new bottle. Now let's make sure my brush is totally clean before I put it in my glitter-free zone. There we go. All right, and then close this up. Let's coat it with some more of our clear and encapsulate this. See if you can see my brush, my liquid. All right, so we want it to be smooth and flowing now. And once we file it, it's going to go totally clear. And of course, we're going to seal it then with a tackless top coat is my favorite. I'm going to use the Gem Jasami Perma Seal. So you have to do that first coat of acrylic very thin so that you're not going to make a thick, bulky nail. There we go. Then make sure nothing's in the cuticle. And that it's even all over. Okay, let's put another dab in the center just to build up the center of the nail. There we go. Mm-hmm. And then right at the apex should be the highest in the middle. All right. It's good. Now I'm going to just give my brush, my acrylic brush, a swipe in my brush cleaner just to make sure that nothing's going to harden in it while I file this nail out. And then I store my acrylic brushes with cuticle oil on the bristles so that they stay nice to a point. So that's a little trick that I like to do. I'm going to cover up my clear. And my cuticle oil, I think, is over here. So let's just do that. I have wrecked so many brushes. And you might do the same when you're just learning. So be sure that you brush it with the cuticle oil and make sure then that nothing is hardened or going to harden that's left in it, and then swish it back to a nice point again. There we go. And I still sell this pineapple mango cuticle oil. It's so nice. It smells good and has all those nourishing vitamins in them. So everybody loves that. Okay, oops, put the lid on here. Okay, so let's just cover this up and make sure when I at least do this one now. I have somebody coming, so I'm gonna have to cut it a little bit short, but you'll know that it's done when it taps. It's kind of still setting, curing a little bit there. So let's just take a softer file to it. Just to do the free edge. And pinch back the side so that you can make the nail body slim looking and slender. You don't want them thick and bulky back here because it makes for a really ugly nail. Okay, it's almost hardened. So I'm going to use my ceramic. I like to use either my ceramic or my carbide. Let's use the ceramic one. These are a nice, new, cool drill bit. They keep the nail plate cool. See how this looks. I'm just going to do a quick file here because it's almost 2. And then I will fix these other ones or do another video at the beginning of next week so that you can, so that I can finish these. All right, so let's give it a spray or a wipe of alcohol just to remove that dust. And then we're going to put quickly the Jasami Perma Sealer. It's a no wipe UV top coat by Sheba Nails. Sheba Nails sells it. So, and we sell it here at Costume Beauty Institute. I have a big supply of them coming in because I love it. It looks like they're under glass, encased in glass, and it never scratches, and it doesn't yellow, and it doesn't crack. So it does require 1 minute, 60 seconds in the UV lamp. Isn't that pretty? So there, voila. There's our beautiful. Let me just take off this finger so I can bake it a little bit easier and show you. So it's an easy way to do an encapsulated nail over top of a clear nail tip. All right, that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining. I hope that the sound and everything was okay because I really couldn't see my Facebook on my monitor. Sorry about that. Still getting all of our technology up and working, message me. I'll see all of my online students and post this video as an updated nail tip application with some beautiful new bling. And just to review, what I used was these moonstone and pink and moonstone seeds and gems and petals. They're gorgeous. I have those in stock. And now we have lots of the butterflies in as well for bling. And then it was regular glitter and a little bit of the gold studs as well, which I have those always. And I have a lot of new polishes in. I haven't tested these yet. These are two-toned or mood changing. So when you go out in the sun, I think it is, they change color. So I haven't tried them yet, but I have about 6 or 7 different new colors. So I'm going to do that. So there we are. It's totally all dry. What a gorgeous, that's really pretty. I love the clear nails. All right. Hope you like it. Thanks so much for joining. And we'll see you soon. Next week on Monday, I'm going to try. All right, guys. Bye-bye.